you're a female athlete, you want to make sure you go where the money is. You want to actually be able to turn your athletic prowess into a career. I'll tell you the most lucrative sport you can get into. You're probably not playing it. It's pickleball.
Yeah!
According to a new report from Daniel Kaplan of Awful Announcing, he has found that the female athletes that get paid the highest salary on average in professional sports leagues in 2024 is pickleballers. What? How? He says the United Pickleball Association paid out on average $269,000 this year to each of its female players. Mm-hmm. Where is that money coming from, first of all?
I mean, pickleball, as we've mentioned, is the fastest growing sport in America, has lots of big investors, lots of big name athletes are involved in like the Major League Pickleball, like LeBron James, Kevin Love, different people that have just found a love for pickleball that have gotten involved in the sport early. But I think the reason why this number is so high is because even though pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America, there's not a lot of really good professional athletes in that sport just yet. I mean, they are very talented, but it's not oversaturated. Yeah. So like the numbers they were comparing to like women that are paid in, in soccer or in the WNBA, and those are much, much lower compared to this 269,000. But there's also just a lot less female athletes to pay in pickleball versus the WNBA.
That's a good point. That's actually a good way to look at it. That with, let's say, women's tennis or women's soccer, as there's a limited amount of money in any of that. Right. And then once we have this league and let's expand it a little bit, and let's make these more tournaments until the top players are still getting paid very well. Yeah. For what they do, but you have a lot of people at the lower end that are bringing down the average by a lot, right? Because they're just playing it just to scrape, if they wanted to make that a career, it's scraping by, right? Because there's just a limited amount, but there's some people want to go watch tennis in Washington D.C. in August, and so they put on a tournament there, but there's not a lot of prize money because there's not a lot of sponsors because there's only so many people that want to watch that. Right. And also tennis is like independent contracting pretty much. And so you only win you only get money if you win a certain amount of, you get placed. So you have to get up to a certain point in the tournament, like make the quarterfinals or something to actually start getting some of the purse that is available for that tournament. Versus, this is players that are getting paid. They're on the Carvana PPA Tour, and they're also on the Major League Pickleball, they're on a team for Major League Pickleball. And basically the UPA controls both of those two leagues, if you will. Yeah. And so they have $30 million to pay these players, and they just divided it evenly amongst all of them, men and women. And so that's why you see this kind of higher rate, is because even though it's a smaller pie, you have less people to split it amongst. Yeah. Versus if you literally only have 30 people to split even still a small pie with versus 1,000 people to split a slightly bigger pie. Yeah. The 30 people are going to be making more money. Right. So now you know what you need to do, Aly. You have a lot of practice. There's a lot of money in it. You're going to have to turn pro.
I don't know how soon I'll be turning pro. I told you off the mic, I feel like we do kind of overplay me playing pickleball. I've only been playing pickleball since October. So it's new.
No, that's not true, is it?
It is true. I started it early October. And I love it, but I unfortunately only get to play one time per week for 2 hours. And that's not the whole 2 hours, because I play at a, kind of like a rec center type of thing. It's at my church, and we play it in the sense where it's you kind of go round robin, so you're not playing the whole time. Sure. So I don't get a lot of practice, and I told you off the mic, I just got my first win in pickleball. I don't know why, but I had a curse that was following me since I started. I was 0 in however many games I had played, and
know how many?
I don't. I really don't.
You definitely have a count.
I don't. I don't have a count, but I know I'm 1 in however many games I played now.
If you start counting from yesterday or whenever you just won, you're undefeated.
Well, I mean, I played other games that day, so I was like 1-5.
Okay, stop diminishing. You're never going to turn pro with this attitude. And bring in $200,000 for both of us to split, because I encouraged you.
While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.